We want to look at the barriers some people say they face when they try to get mental health.
So our Fox 4 Morning News anchor Lisa Greenberg joins us live from the David Lawrence Centers for Behavioral Health to examine what help is available. Good morning, Lisa.
Good morning, you guys. Yes, we're live from the David Lawrence Centers for Behavioral Health here in Collier County, and today we're talking about the different barriers that minority communities say they may face when it comes to getting access to mental health care. So in the last hour, we talked about a lack of representation, that some people feel like they don't see themselves in their provider. Now we're going to focus on how history plays a role and what clinicians need to do to acknowledge that.
It's important that all Black people, all people, recognize that they are as valuable, as important as anybody else.
And Sache Caceres, an outpatient clinician at David Lawrence Centers for Behavioral Health's Immokalee office, says with an 80% rise in Black youth suicide over the last 30 years, it's important to make mental health care more widely available. She says Black people are prone to struggling with lifelong post-traumatic stress disorder.
And part of that is this cultural mentality of just tough it out, because no one cares, because no one is out there to help you, and because no one offering help looks like you, so therefore sees you as smaller than you actually are.
And she says that's a big piece of why many people in minority communities don't try to get help.
There's a long history of medical trauma within the Black community, a lot of experimentation that occurred back in the days, right? And that already has created a scar within the community, within the culture, to stay away or protect themselves from providers that might cause harm.
She says it's critical clinicians recognize this and tailor their treatments.
In our eyes, because of historical trauma and generational trauma, that's the immediate stance that we take, is this person is capable of hurting me more than helping me if they so choose to. That humility piece in providers is incredibly important, because it opens the door for us to see each other as equals versus you have some advantage over me just by nature of your race.
All right, so now we are back out here live. I have Nancy Dauphiné with me. She is the Chief Operating Center here at the Chief Operating Officer, I should say, here for the David Lawrence Centers for Behavioral Health. I want to talk a little bit about what you guys are doing here at DLC to break into these communities and make sure that everyone, regardless of race or identity, knows that you guys are out here ready to serve them.
Sure, I think it's really important that we do outreach. We're out in the community and we're providing education and awareness events, so we can break down stigma, so people can understand how important it is to get help wherever they are. So we help people learn more about what it means to get help and how to be healthy, and reduce that stigma so folks feel comfortable getting help.
And it's my understanding you guys are at health fairs letting people know you're available. You can even go into people's homes and help them as well?
Yes, we're everywhere in the community. We're doing mental health first aid activities, education events. We're at community health fairs. We're in parks. We're at schools. We are in community centers. We have events every month. We're on the internet, so telehealth and virtual services are really important. People feel really more comfortable sometimes getting help from the comfort of their home, and that's a great place to start too.
And I want, for anyone who's at home watching who may not know, what kind of services do you offer here at David Lawrence Center?
We have a range of treatment, from education all the way to intensive inpatient treatment. So there can be sort of low intensity services that might look like once every couple weeks, talk to somebody one-on-one. There can be group activities that are 3 times a week. Some folks may need to be here 24/7 for 7 to 28 days. It really is individualized based on what individuals need.
Sounds great. Thank you so much for being with us this morning, Nancy.
Pleasure.
And coming up here on Fox 4 Morning News, I mentioned earlier there is a training happening today. Every month they do cultural diversity training here at the David Lawrence Center. We're going to take you inside that training, give you a look. Again, that's coming up on Fox 4 Morning News at 9.